Morning to all of the judges. Before I start my presentation, let me introduce about myself first. My name is Nur Ain Amira.
Working together with Dr. Akmar binti Muhammad Yazid, we successfully developed this product. This product also registered in my IPO, Intellectual Property Corporation of Malaysia. This product is also registered under Letter of Intent. With the theme Empowering Generations, Advancing Knowledge Through Science and Education, we are reminded that every idea we share today has the power to shape tomorrow. By strengthening science education, empower individuals, communities, and future generations to rise with knowledge.
The second problem, memorization over understanding. Students tend to memorize redox equations and definitions without truly understanding the underlying processes.
Lack of engaging learning tools. Traditional teaching methods such as textbook and lectures are not always enough to make electrochemistry interesting. Students often find the topic boring, complex, and disconnected from real-life application. To overcome these problems, we innovated and developed the Redoxia Quest, a fun board game-based learning for redox section to provide a more productive, interactive, and engaging way for students to learn. Our game board is designed based on the familiar concept of snakes and ladder. Many students still recognize today. We adopted its classic structure and give it an educational twist to meet the needs of modern learning. In Redoxia Quest, each step, challenge, and pathway is intentionally designed to reinforce redox solutions concepts, transforming a traditional game into an interactive tool that supports understanding, engagement, and meaningful learning. The development of Redoxia Quest game board innovation follows the ADDIE instructional design model, which serves as the primary reference throughout the entire process. Each phase of analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation guides the systematic creation of the game to ensure it's educational, engaging, and effective for learning redox reactions concept.
Here is the manual and the answer scheme of Redoxia Quest booklet, which the game board story begins when scientist Dr. Begapang, unable to finish his experiments due to missing apparatus, kidnaps a pirate captain who stops by his island. He leaves a mission notes for the crew to complete the challenges, collect the apparatus, and save their captain. This is the manual of this game board. And this is the scheme. This is the manual of this game. Here the list of prices of every rescue cards and the apparatus. This is the components that will be provided to the player during the gameplay.
Next, let's move on to playing the games. First, the dice are rolled for the first time to determine the player's turns. Second, the dice must be rolled again to determine the number of moves at each stage. For an example, using one of the characters, which is Zoe, when Zoe lands on a station with the laboratory apparatus, the weighing balance, which represents the remember level, she must answer a simple recall-based chemistry question. Next, when Zoe lands on the conical class station, which represents the understanding level, she must explain the concept. Next, when Zoe lands on the QR code station, player needs to scan the QR code by using a gadget. This is the best part because the player will meet a scientist that gives them so much information and helps them throughout the journey.
After being linked to the QR, it will lead to this website, which is a redox reaction development board game of Redoxia Quest. This is the instruction, and this is one of the video.
Direction of electron flow in a galvanic cell. Electrons flow from the electrode with a more negative electrode potential to the more positive electrode potential. The metal with a more negative electrode potential acts as the anode, oxidation. The metal with a more positive electrode potential acts as the cathode, reduction.
When Zoe lands on the dropper station, it represents the analyzing level. Here, she must compare, interpret, and make a decision based on the given data. When Zoe lands on the distilled water bottle station, it represents the evaluating level. At this level, she must make a judgment and justify her decision using scientific evidence. So that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Bye!